What's up, everybody? Jumping on here really quick this afternoon. Just finished up working out. Today is a little bit of an active recovery day, but we are filming some podcasts here this afternoon. I have a buddy coming over, filming some more content, but just wanted to jump on. I had a little bit of free time this morning. Had a couple clients to film or to train, and then came home. Did a little work. We are revamping our website right now. So reviewed a bunch of the changes, marking down a bunch of things, going to sit down with my wife tonight, and hey Carls, and gonna review those changes again and see what changes to continue to make. Really excited to hopefully have that out in the coming weeks. We have some really cool announcements coming with that. But just wanted to jump on some free time. After that, I ate some lunch and hit a quick workout today. Today's workout was pretty light. The last 2 days have been pretty intense. And so today was a little bit more active recovery, just moving the body a little bit of light weights. And then just taking in post-workout right now and waiting for Dustin to come over, film some podcast. So just wanted to jump on and see what you guys were up to today. What's up, Tyler? Thanks for jumping on, man. And just wanted to give some time to you guys today. Had a little bit of extra here before moving on to the next project. It's been, hey, what's up? Thanks for jumping on. Just wanted to jump on and see what you guys were up to. See what your guys' training is like in the summer. And if you're getting ready for any hunts this fall, just seeing what you guys were doing. So I have a hunt coming up in September. Our season always kicks off September for archery. In South Dakota, they actually changed the resident season to September 1st last year, which is really nice. It used to be almost the last weekend in September. We'd get a couple days of September before October, and we would start archery hunting then. But last year it got adjusted, and so pretty awesome. Hey, thanks for jumping on, Juan. Cali Hunter, thanks for jumping on. And so we're pretty stoked. Locker, thanks for jumping on, man. And so we're pretty stoked that starts September 1st now. And so we'll be prepping for that. We only have a couple days to hunt that, actually, in the early season this year. Only a couple days to try to harvest a mule deer and velvet, because then we are taking off right away early. I think we're taking off the 6th of September for New Mexico. Me and Dad drew an archery elk tag. And down there in one of our favorite units, and we've hunted this unit twice already, all the way back, actually, ironically, when we started Run 2 Gun Season 1, Run 2 Gun TV, we drew that tag, and it was the first hunt we ever filmed for Run 2 Gun TV, and then that was Season 1, and we drew it again in Season 5, and I killed a bull in Season 1, my dad didn't. And so we went back down in Season 5, and the big goal was to get Dad a bull elk. He had never killed a bull elk before. What's up, Jeff? Thanks for jumping on, man. And so we went down there, and Dad killed an awesome bull on the second night. And so we had a late night that night packing it out. Pretty rugged. Smitty, thanks for jumping on. And pretty rugged pack out. It was down in this bowl in this little water hole, and it was kind of straight up for about a half mile, really steep, but we got it out of there, and then about a mile and a half, just gradual, off the opposite side of the mountain, gradual descend, but it was super rocky, and but we got it all out of there in one trip. It was rough, and got back into camp, and what's up, Wyoming Backcountry? Thanks for jumping on, man. Got it back to camp pretty late, and we got right back out there the next morning. We got up 4 hours of sleep, got right back out, and actually right away that next morning, we called in a bull to 35, 40 yards that I passed on. That was the morning of morning 3. And we actually hunted pretty dang hard there the rest of the week. And very last day of the season, I ended up killing an awesome bull. That's actually the bull right behind me here. Was my bull back in Season 5. We're going to be filming Season 7 this year. So that was 2 seasons ago. So we're headed back down there, I think September 6th this year for the same hunt. And so I'm hoping for that same luck, man. It was awesome. And Dave, Justin, my co-host, and he owns Arrowhead Outfitters down there. They've been getting a ton of moisture in that unit this year, and so we're really hoping for a chance at a really good bull. And we're going to be in New Mexico for that hunt, and so we're pretty stoked for that. And a couple days before that, we only have a couple days of archery hunt here in South Dakota for archery deer. So we'll be doing that, basically just jumping on, seeing what you guys are up to this summer, how you guys are training, if you have any hunts you're specifically training for. I know for me, I have kind of some off-season training that happens after the new year. Things kind of slow down. I lower my intensity level, really focus on hypertrophy, putting on some muscle, building that strength again. And then as I gradually get into spring, my intensity gradually picks up. And then really July is that time for me when it just takes up another ramp. So this last week has been rough. My body's definitely hurting again just because of that intensity really picks up. So the last 2 days have been nasty rough. And then so today was a little bit more active recovery, mobility, light weights, and then tomorrow is another rough one again. So just really hydrating, eating really well. Nutrition is really locked in right now. What's up, Davis? What other states hunts do you have planned this coming year? Yeah, so the archery South Dakota, the archery elk, archery deer for South Dakota, the archery elk for New Mexico. That pretty much is going to take up most of our September. And then October rolls around. My wife should draw an antelope tag rifle this year. I can over the counter archery antelope tag if I want in South Dakota. Don't know if I'm gonna have the time to do that this year or not, but definitely rifle. My wife should draw with her points. I don't know if I will. I got like maybe a 15% chance to draw where I'll put in, so probably not. And then I did draw the unit that I wanted to for rifle mule deer. Same unit that I killed that toad of a buck in last year. If you guys have seen the film, it's under season 6 on our YouTube channel. It's called Off to See the Wizard. Really crazy mule deer buck that we shot in this unit last year. And there was, if you watch the footage, I don't know if we have too much of this other buck, but there was another buck that was with him that is a typical. This one that I shot was kind of non-typical. But there was this other one that was with him that was a typical mule deer, and actually I think would score more than this non-typical. He is a toad. And so we drew that unit. I drew that unit again with no points this year, and it was slim to none odds that I would do that. So I'm really stoked that I have the opportunity to go back there and hunt this, because I'm hoping we can put our eyes on this deer and maybe have a chance. So I'm blocking off a lot of time in November for that hunt. And then my buddy, my co-host Matt, he drew a muzzleloader tag here in South Dakota for the month of December. So we're really stoked to get out and hunt some mule deer with that too. I also drew a Barbary sheep hunt in New Mexico. We'll be down in February. My buddy drew that same hunt. Destiny's come over for the podcast today. He also drew an oryx tag down there, so we'll be down there for both of those. And then I haven't decided yet in South Dakota. There is in the Custer State Park, there is bison tag. So I have a lot of preference points for that, enough to maybe a little bit over a coin flip draw odds to pull that tag, but it's expensive. And so I don't know. I'm debating on putting in for that this year, just because the odds are going down every year, because there's more and more non-residents putting in for that tag. And there's only a couple tags that are specified just for residents, and then the rest go into a mixed pool for non-residents and residents. So I'm debating on maybe just, I have a little, I call it my sheep fund. I do a little side work, set aside a little money, trying to save up to do a, hey, what's up, Clay Slater, thanks for jumping on, man. So I've been trying to save up and do a Dall sheep hunt. I've been saving for a couple years, but I might sacrifice a little bit of that money and maybe try to do that maybe put in and try to do that bison hunt this year. What's up, Kiki? Thanks for jumping on. And so Alika is awesome. She's actually my brother's girlfriend, and she's one heck of a talented photographer. Maybe we can get her out to come out on a couple hunts, follow us around this year, and take a couple rad shots. You guys would be impressed with her photography. It's second to none. Yeah, it's a long season, man. But it's awesome. So we film all of it. We're filming season 7 of Run 2 Gun. It does get super long. Try to really space out some breaks. We really learned over the years, we set aside a couple weeks where we just stay home with the family. We had, I think it was season 4, where we were hunted South Dakota, mid-August started for antelope archery, and we hunted South Dakota, South Dakota, Colorado, Montana, New Mexico, and Alaska in 3 months. And it was way too much. We were gone too much, and so in season 4, actually season 1 all the way through season 6, I was working full-time at another job and full-time Run to Gun. So I was putting in countless hours every week, and a family. And so actually, I really haven't publicly said this too much, but June 1st, I actually done with all my other jobs. I quit and finished up, and I'm 100% Run 2 Gun now. So I'm excited. It's actually pretty scary, but I'm pumped all at the same time, because I can schedule things the way I want to. I've always wondered in the back of my head, okay, if I'm putting in 80, 90 hours a week, combined. If I was just to put in 60 alone just in run to gun, would I be good enough to make it? And so I decided to take the risk. Now's the time to do it. I'm on, year 7 and 8 of owning this business, and time to take it to the next level. So we have some really fun things coming down the pipe here really quick this summer that I'm excited to get out to you guys. And it's just been fun. And I appreciate you guys' support along the way. It's been pretty awesome. You got to do the buffalo hunt. I took one with my bow in Wyoming a few years back. Nice. One of the best hunts I've ever done. And dude, that's what I keep on hearing. Like, my cousin killed a nice bull, and I had a buddy that killed one that was actually top 10. And he said the same thing. He's like, it is just a very gratifying hunt. They had a blast, and they do it again in a second. So I'm kind of thinking the same thing, man. Like, maybe it's time to get this one off the plate, even though it's going to cost a little bit of extra money, but maybe just go for it and get it done. I really want, here's the next question, man. So did you get it mounted, or do you just keep the rug? Because I really just want a giant rug on the floor right here. So I'm in the middle of finishing my basement. So you see, like, the ceiling's not done yet, but I built the office over here. So this is where I do all my editing, all my work. It's kind of messy right now. But then we built like this back wall. So this wood back here actually is, I tore this wood off of like a 110-year-old barn. It was my step grandparents' barn over by Draper, South Dakota, and they were gonna burn. It was like all just compiled and packed, and they were just gonna burn it all. And so I went out there one summer day, and I'm like, and this was back in like 2013. And thanks for jumping on, you guys. And I was just like, I'm gonna pick some of this wood, and I finally used it this year. I've had it in storage for like 6 years. And I thought I was just going to go out and pick a couple of pieces of this wood. Look how rad this stuff is. Like, super old, just a lot of character. And I thought it was just going to take me a few minutes to load up the back of the pickup. And it was like a 100-degree day, South Dakota, hot. And it took me like 8 hours because the wood is so brittle and old. And they didn't use nails back then. It was like these giant spikes. And so I was out there with like a tack and a hammer, trying not to break the wood just to get this much. And I just barely had enough to finish this wall. Right here on this black spot, I'm going to put up some stone and like a electric kind of like stove-looking fireplace just for that effect. We're going to like podcast back here. And so I was excited to do that. So we're just in the middle of finishing the basement. But yeah, like I said, I want to do, I did a rug and then just a Euro mount. See, that's what I'm thinking too, because I just want a big old rug right sorry about that. A rug down here in the fireplace, and then maybe just a big old Euro. But just the other weekend I saw a really nice mount done, but it looks so awesome, but they're just so huge. They take up so much space where I'm kind of like, I don't know if I want to do that or not. So I think the rug would be the way to go. Tag me, dude, YO Backcountry Bow Hunter. Take a picture or something and tag me in it, because I want to, if you have your rug, I want to just see it and then see your Euro. Obviously I'm kind of getting, jumping the gun with assuming I might draw this tag this year. It might be another year or two, but even just for down the line, just for some ideas, I'm hoping you might push me over the edge of just doing the rug. I think that might be just the way to go. Because I don't know if there would be enough rug if you were to do like a shoulder mount and then try to rug the back. That'd probably look funny. There wouldn't be enough. It'd probably look kind of weird. So, but yeah, let me know. I kind of talked to you a little bit about what's up. Thanks for jumping on. Talked a little bit about my summer training, what's going on, how the intensity is picking up here in July. So I was wondering if you guys are kind of doing that same concept. I go along the lines was kind of like, I don't know if anybody else does this. I've been doing this with my clients for years and myself. And I've noticed when I utilize this style going into some really big hunts, I've been in some of the best shape I've been in. I call it kind of like an undulated, it's almost like an undulated CrossFit. So I utilize actually like strength, and power and strength, which I'm going from like 1 rep to 3 reps, strength up to 5 and 6. And I'm actually utilizing some hypertrophy. And sorry, Alec, I actually missed your determination is inspiring. You will make it. Best wishes. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. And then I actually use some hypertrophy, like 10 reps-ish, and then some even endurance up to like 15 reps. And how I do that is I'll do like, one muscle group at like a power, a different muscle group at, a strength, a different muscle group at an endurance, all in the same day. But I'm not doing like an old school bodybuilding routine where you're doing like all chest or all legs where you're just like ripping it apart. And, you're sore for 3 days after that. So I'm actually training the muscle groups so many times a week. I'm getting 3 or 4 times in of legs, sometimes 5 times of legs. I'm getting in, multiple times of all these muscle groups, but I'm not destroying them so bad that they're unworkable for the day after. But I kind of correlate it in the long lines of a very rigorous hunt where you're working muscles every single day without a break. And so this is kind of that same style of training. It's taxing. It's taxing on the body and it's taxing on the central nervous system. But man, thanks for jumping on. Appreciate it, Ben. And it really works well. I notice my body at least responds really well to it. My clients' bodies have responded to it really well going in on their hunts. I actually have two guys utilizing this style, getting ready for moose hunts this year. One guy going to Alaska, one guy going to the Yukon. They're both leaving in about 7 weeks, and they're both utilizing this style of training to get ready, and they're seeing great results from it. One guy's only been training for like 4 weeks here. The other one has been training since February. And they're both doing really well. I'm excited to see their success. One guy's going with an outfitter, and then the other guy, thanks for jumping on, Elk Hunting 24/7. And the other guy is actually, he's going with a friend up in Alaska, more DIY. And so I'm really excited to see their journey of this and see how their training correlates to maybe their success. And so it'll be pretty neat. I'll be posting a little bit of stories on that in September. They both leave. I think one leaves on September 3rd. One guy leaves on September 5th. 2 different areas, Yukon and Alaska, for their hunts. So that'll be exciting. So let me know how you guys are training, what kind of methods you guys use to prepare, not only just for hunts, but just different times of the year. Do you guys periodize your training? Does it change? Do you just kind of do the same thing all year round? I know for me, it's very periodized. I've been training for so long. I just turned 31 today. And I've been training since I was 14, obviously for sport early in my life, 13, 14, in the weight room. And so a lot of years where I've mixed it up. I've done, back right when I was out of college, I got into just putting on size and the old school bodybuilding, and then got into more powerlifting techniques, got into different CrossFit techniques, and then conditioning techniques, then mixing in how I trained in college, in high school for sport, my strength and conditioning there. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. And mixing it in with powerlifting, mixing it in with the CrossFit, mixing it in with bodybuilding. And that's where I kind of came up with this undulated CrossFit. Thanks, man. And is what I kind of call it. It's not really a real term, but it works really well for getting in shape for hunts, outdoor adventures. So if you guys have questions on that, shoot me a DM, drop me a comment. I'd love to just help guide you on that sense. We also post all of our daily routines out for you guys on run2gun.com on our members section. So you guys can check it out there every day, workout listed, and you guys can hit it. Right now we're like day 31 of our summer strength and conditioning course. There was a spring fitness challenge before that. Right now it's the summer strength and conditioning. And then we'll do a little last month prep into September for anybody wanting to do that. So it's pretty fun. A lot of good results from it with people, and some cool things coming down the pipe with that. But yeah, I'm just waiting for my buddy to get here podcasting, so I just jumped on the live here really quick. My phone's actually about dead. Figured I'd just give some time to you guys and have a little fun, see what was going on. 31, dude. Wise people. I don't know about that, but I appreciate it. I feel 31 pretty good, Jeff. Like last year leading up to 30, I was like, it must have been like, I don't know, 3 months away from my birthday of 30, and that's when mini epiphanies happened for me. I didn't feel old, but I just felt like this newfound lack of caring, maybe isn't the term, lack of caring about other people's opinions. And there were so many things I wanted to do with my business and Run2Gun that I never did, that I really didn't know I wasn't doing because I cared about what other people thought. But then I got to that age and I realized that I wasn't doing some of these things, and I wasn't posting some of these things, and I wasn't going on live and just chatting and talking to people, because I actually did care or worried maybe about what people thought. And, I don't know, I hit that age and I just was like, man, if I'd have been doing this when I was a little bit younger, when we started the business 7 years ago, 8 years ago, where could we potentially have been? And so it was just like this new hit, and really just wanted to continue my journey in another step and start talking. I kind of felt like I had earned the right, because I've been doing it for long enough then, and become a professional in my field or fields in the fitness and the outdoor industry, both, that I kind of earned my right to be able to start talking and giving my opinions and sharing my thoughts and doing that a little bit more, just because I thought the experience, I believe that the experience is there. So I figured it was time. And so, yeah, this last year, I felt like we've really come out of our shell and expanded our business. We started the podcast. We've been at that for a year. A lot of different things really ramped up our content, changed our films this year out. We started doing some long content films versus just the TV show that was airing on cable. So now we still have that, but our main focus is online films, longer style films, really showing more of that journey of everything it takes for the hunt, not just about stepping out of a truck and shooting an animal, which is a style of hunting that's great. But, for us, it's about that off-season training, the preparation, having fun with friends, out scouting, all the glassing that takes place, the hiking in to these spots, just the whole journey side of things, having fun, and showing that in film form, and sharing it with friends like Jeff jumped on right here, Buckley Boys 3. You need to change that to Buckley Boys 4 now, by the way, because you don't have 3 boys anymore, you have 4. So you need to change your handle. And so we went out with Jeff actually this year. His wife took some phenomenal photos for us a couple years ago, and we all went out antelope hunting this year, and Jeff shot a toad of a buck. What's up, Kyle? Thanks for jumping on. He shot a heck of an antelope here in South Dakota, and actually that's on our season 6 films too, so you can jump on there and see that. And that film actually really does show, like, it was one of those hunts where we went out and we found a buck right away. And sorry, just got a call there, just paused out, and we shot a buck right away. And but it really shows this was Jeff's first antelope hunt, and kind of one of his first, not his very first, but early in his hunting, and really shows just that journey, that learning side of things. And it's just an awesome film. You can feel just the authentic passion in it. It's pretty fun. So check that out. Let me know what you think. And we're really looking forward to season 7, you guys. Thanks for jumping on, DJ. Appreciate it, man. And we're really looking forward to another year and some of the announcements we have coming up. And James, thanks for jumping on, brother, catching us right at the end here. And it's been good. It's been a good journey, and it's scary here. This first month and a half out of running this business for 8 years, doing 2 things. This is the first month and a half that it's been 100% run to gun, no other jobs, and 100% self-employed. So it's been stressful, but it's like an odd stressful. It's like a great stressful. I've never been like the happiness level and the feeling of accomplishment so much different. I wrote myself actually my first check I've ever paid myself out of this business last week. So I've had this business since 2012. We officially opened in 2012. We were working on it all that year right out of college to get it going, the concept. But I've never paid myself. Everything I've made has gone right back into the business to just grow. And so this last week actually was the first time I've ever paid myself. So it felt good. It was a good feeling. I didn't really feel any guilt there. It was finally like a feeling of just accomplishment that it was time for the next step, time to see if we were good enough, to do this 100%, not 40 hours run to gun and 40 hours another job. So excited to be rolling, excited for this next season to see what we can do. We got some cool hunts coming up, so it's going to be awesome. Sam, thanks for jumping on, man, catching us right at the end here. Appreciate you jumping on, though. And it's going to be cool. 2019, 2020 is going to be great. Thanks for jumping on, you guys. If you have questions, of course, on the fitness side of things, how you're prepping for your season, definitely time to still get at it. If you got some hunts coming up, I can definitely help guide you on your way, that in the training and the nutrition. And then obviously just for the fun, content, entertainment value for you guys with just our films and our postings. So thank you guys. I appreciate your time today. We're going to get to filming this next podcast, and you'll probably see it out tonight or tomorrow. And have a great rest of your Wednesday. Later.